Hello, my dear students. I am Professor A.G. Sabre, working in Ahmednagar Jilla Maratha Vidya Prasarak Samaj Sanstha's Residential Junior College, Ahmednagar. Today, through this video lecture, we are going to start with our fourth chapter, that is Business Services. Students, in the last year, we learned the concept of business. That means business is classified into two activities, that is production and distribution. Production means actual making of goods, and whatever goods are produced through different traders, these goods are made available in the market for fulfilling the needs of the customers. For this business activity, businessman needs to take some help of supportive services, as we already learned that these supportive services are called as auxiliaries to trade. These supportive services are called as business services. See students, we will understand what is business services through a short story. A group of boys have graduated from college with a management degree and they plan to start a business together. They were not financially sound, and yet they have decided to set up a garment manufacturing unit. They find that to progress further in this plan, they need to make proper arrangement for finance, for which they approach a bank with the proposal for financing their project. Their business plan gets sanctioned and their project commences and their unit is ready for manufacturing soon. While their unit is getting ready, they set their unit insured against fire and other risks. When their unit is ready for production, they send out their samples through courier to various customers in India. They dispatch the goods by various transports to various domestic and international customers. Excess production stored properly in warehouses till its sale. All of them understood that the importance of supportive services like banking, insurance, communication, transport and warehousing in a very effective manner. All these services help them to achieve their desired goal in business and also to make profits. So, students, no business activity is completed without the participation of these supportive services. That means, business can be completed only with the help of these supportive services. Let us see the definition of business services. According to Philip Kotler, a service is an act of performance that one party can offer to another that is essentially intangible and does not result in the ownership of anything. Its production may or may not be tied to a physical product. Second definition, American Marketing Association defines activities, benefits or satisfaction which are offered for sale or provided in connection with the sale of goods. With the help of these definitions, we find some features of these business services. Let us discuss these features in short. Number 1. Intangibility. Business services are intangible in nature. That means we can enjoy these services but we cannot see, we can't touch it. For example, when we go to bank for depositing cash, we will deposit slip, we fill deposit slip and along with cash we give it to cashier. That means we enjoy banking services but we can't say it is a banking service. Number 2. Inseparability. The unique feature of services is that the service and the service provider cannot be separated. The presence of service provider is there at the time of delivering services to the customers. For example, for moving home to college, you sat in auto rickshaw. As soon as you see, the auto driver comes out from that auto and says to you to go. Is it possible? No, it is not possible. That means the presence of the auto driver is must to drive auto and move from one place to another. Number 3, inconsistency. Services are heterogeneous, means they are not similar towards two different persons. These services are differ from time to time, person to person. For example, the behavior of bank employee towards one customer can be good and can be harsh towards other. Number 4, perishability. The production and consumption of services are inseparable because storage of services is not possible. For example, a bank employee goes on strike on 10th June. Now, it is not possible to stock the services which they can give on that day and get double work done on 11th June. That means on next day. Therefore, it is said that these services are perishable in nature. Number 5, non-transferability. When we purchase products by paying amount, the ownership transferred to buyer. But in case of services, the ownership cannot be transferred to the buyer. For example, a customer can book hotel room. He enjoys that service, but the ownership of room remains with the hotelier. Number 6, consumer participation. To enjoy the benefits of services, the participation of customer is required. For example, a transport company is ready to take you on a tour. A bus is ready and waiting for the passenger. Now, if the passenger wishes to enjoy this service, he has to travel in the bus. Without the participation of the customer, it is not possible to avail the benefits of the services. Now, let us see the first business service, that is banking. Everyone knows that a bank is an institution which deals with financial transactions. That means in form of deposits and by granting loans, bank fulfills the financial requirements of people. Let us see the definition of bank. As per the Indian Banking Regulation Act 1949, banking company means any company which transacts the business of banking in India. And the word banking has been defined as accepting for the purpose of lending or investment of deposit of money from public, repayable on demand or otherwise, and withdrawable by check, draft and other order or otherwise. Now let us see the different types of banks. Number 1, Central Bank. Students, have you heard Reserve Bank of India? Yes, Reserve Bank of India is a central bank of India. It is a banker's bank. Every country has its one central bank through which they can have control on other banks. The main function of central bank is to frame policies regarding the working of the banks. Central bank provides guidance to other banks whenever they face any problem. This bank issues currency, controls other banks and works as a bank of the government. Number 2, commercial banks. These banks accept the deposits from the general public and provide short-term loans to traders, manufacturers and businessmen. By providing different financial services to society, this bank plays important role in the economic development of the nation. In India, these commercial banks are divided into three groups as public sector banks, private sector banks, and foreign banks. Number 3. Cooperative bank. These banks are formed according to Cooperative Societies Act. The main objective of forming these cooperative banks is to provide financial assistance to farmers and the people belonging to lower income group. These banks provides loan facility at lower interest rate as per customers' requirement. In India, cooperative banks are the main source of rural credit. These bank works at three different levels: on district level, district cooperative bank; on village level, primary credit society; and on state level, it is state cooperative bank. Number 4. Industrial Development Bank. Business organizations requires medium-term and long-term financial help for machinery and equipments. These financial requirements are fulfilled by these industrial development banks. They also undertake other development measures like subscribing to the shares and debentures issued by companies in case of undersubscription of issue by the public. Number 5. Exchange banks. Exchange banks are mainly concerned with financing foreign trade. Main function of exchange bank are remitting money from one country to another country, discounting of foreign bills, helping import and export trade, issue of letter of credit, etc. Bank of Tokyo, Bank of America are the examples of exchange banks working in India. Number 6. Regional Rural Bank. These banks were established to enhance the banking facilities in rural areas. In these banks, the features of commercial and cooperative banks are found. The main function performed by these banks are to provide loans to small traders, small farmers, and for the development of agricultural activities. Number 7. Saving bank. The main objective of saving bank is to encourage savings of the people, especially in rural areas. The examples of these type of bank includes postal saving bank, commercial bank, and cooperative bank. Number 8. Specialized banks. There are some banks which cater to the requirements and provide overall support for setting up business in specific areas. The examples of such bank are Export-Import Bank of India, SIDBI, and NABARD. Exim Bank grants loans to exporters and importers and also provides information about international market. SIDBI, that is Small Industries Development Bank of India, as name indicates that the main aim of SIDBI is to promote finance and develop small scale industries. And in case of NABARD, that is National Bank for Agricultural and Rural Development, it is an apex institution for financing agricultural and rural sector. Students, these all are different types of banks working in financial sector, and as per its specification, each and every type of bank plays important role in the economic development of the nation. Hope you understood it very well. Stay home and study from home safely. Thank you.